SoulCircle. I'm Candice.
And I'm Steven, and we are from Arcana Mind, Body, Spirit, located in Toronto, Canada. Oh, what a glorious Monday it is, because we have summer solstice this weekend. Oh my gosh, it was just such a lovely, lovely weekend. Candice, how are you feeling after the solstice?
I'm feeling really good. I had a beautiful day. I got a lot of sun, which was nice. And I got to spend a lot of time surrounded by all of the elements, which was also very lovely. So I had a great weekend, feeling pretty good starting my week. So yeah. How about you? Feeling good, Steven?
Feeling so good, so good. Upcoming this week is my husband's birthday, so we had a very lovely, just had a really great time connecting this weekend. I just had a really great weekend. I feel just so supercharged about everything. So happy about all of that. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all of you who are reaching out and inquiring about our online services that we have available. We've had a lot of people ask about our spiritual Lifepath Coaching, which has been really great. Candice and I have loved it and getting to know you guys a lot. So if you're interested in any of those services, please check out Facebook, Instagram. You can see all of our content on YouTube. And Candice and I filmed a whole bunch of new episodes over the last few days, so we're really excited for that content to reach you guys. So all that being said, our whole goal is for you to reach that high vibrational life. So if you are around, please say hello, let us know. And for today, we're going to jump into our next chakra. We are going to be talking about Anya, the third eye chakra. All right. If you are interested in working on chakras, we have our third eye chakra video that we put out earlier this year. We dive into all kinds of awesome burning questions about what our relationship is like with our third eye, and if we trust our intuition and how we feel about it. Without further ado, Candice, why don't you get started?
Yeah, so your third eye is located right in the center of your forehead. And as Stephen kind of just mentioned, it governs our higher consciousness and our personal wisdom. The third eye is also a feminine energy. Stephen had the symbol up, it's a lotus flower. I've seen it sometimes also with an upside down triangle in the center. And the color related to this chakra is indigo. So oftentimes, I was thinking about like the elements with this chakra, and I know sound is an important one that's related to this, but it's also associated with light itself. So it's not your typical like ones that we've kind of covered where you're thinking about fire or, oh, hi, MJ. Hola.
Hey, darling.
So it's not like the typical ones where I could just say like, oh, air, and we have videos for that and we have lots of information on that. We're focusing a lot on light. So like being able to see and thinking, and a lot of the times when you're using meditation for this, you're focusing in on light, or like imagining light coming from this. So the actual mantra for this one specifically is I see. So when you're thinking about your third eye chakra being in flow, you're having clear thoughts. It's easy for self-reflection. It helps you set the realities of your belief systems and how you basically see the world, your perspectives. It's also related to your sixth sense. It's like the third eye, right? So it helps you grow your intuition. Again, expanding your perspective and understanding your connection to everything around you in the universe in a general sense. So again, keeping this chakra in flow, meditation and yoga are like the key ingredients to that, right? Cognitive practices such as like mindfulness practices, especially using visualizations is really good about this one. Like I mentioned, with visualizing light coming from your third eye. yeah, so sit and take silence, or I love guided meditations, especially working with specific things. I think it's really useful. Um, Also, when you're doing this, try being in a brightly lit space. So this isn't one that maybe you want to like lay in darkness in your room when you're just waking up or right before bed. This one is something that's like find that sunspot and sit in it, and maybe that's where you want to turn on that guided meditation or do your own sit in silence and focus on that. So that would be a beautiful space, or even if it is like the moonlight or something, but you want light coming in and using that as like the kind of theme of your meditation when working with this chakra. um, some other small things that you can do that actually make a huge difference. Try to broaden your perspective and expand your consciousness and connectiveness. So, read a new book, learn something that's new, and try something different. Eat something new, listen to music you haven't listened to, especially like a different, maybe from a different culture or a different language. Whatever you do, put yourself in a place of expansion and growth, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that actually does a lot for just keeping your third eye in flow. Of course, there's lots of crystals. Stephen, I'm sure you have some over there. Tanzanite, sodalite, I think is another good one for the third eye chakra.
Sodalite. I like to work with some of like the clearer ones, like danbarite. Some of the like the Synergy 12 stones. A lot of those are really great with connecting and things like that, like a moldavite or a danbarite or all kinds of those stones there. And then a lot of the indigo-y color stones. Some of those,
Yeah.
there's a lot there. Yeah.
Yeah, again, like following the color scheme and eating anything that you can find in that color scheme as well is
Hey.
really good. Uh, so I have some affirmations that I wrote that could be good. Again, writing something that makes sense for you and what you want. Now you kind of have a quickie idea of what it's about. Find the words that resonate with you and put it together. I wrote out two here. As I experience new things, I continue to trust my intuition and the connection I have to the universe. Or another one, I have a clear, peaceful, wise, and trusting mind, allowing me to receive all the messages that the universe and my higher consciousness reveal to me.
I like that.
Yeah. So again, find your own words, find your own voice. We already talked about the throat chakra. So put it with the words how you need them to be. But some last thoughts. If your mind is not at peace, if your thoughts are full of anxiety and fear, it can be extremely hard to connect with your world around you. We have to take the time and efforts in understanding who we are, what our beliefs are, what makes us wise and self aware. If we can get to that place, we are able to remain open minded, and therefore open to new experiences. That in turn leads us to our purpose, and we can receive the wisdom of our experiences with clarity and peace. That is high vibe living.
Isn't that high vibe living? Oh man, is it ever? Yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome. Okay, so let's get to a little bit of exercises here that can help work on your relationship with your third eye chakra. Now, for this one, in general, any form of yoga or like any form of cycled exercise that involves following a flow is good to do for your third eye. So rather than just having one posture or one pose, if we're talking about yoga, going through a whole sun salutation and working through change is a really great way to work through your third eye, because you will notice different things come up for you in different positions. And ideally, that is what an open third eye is going to feel like. What messages are you receiving when you are out in the world? What are you getting? How do you see the world? How does it present itself to you? And are your eyes open? Right? So a very simple mantra you can follow is I see the world and the world sees me. Right? That's just a very clear, concise, straightforward way of thinking about what your third eye is. I like to think of the third eye chakra as a big blank movie theater screen, right? And it's in front of you all the time. And we are looking at it right now. We're always looking at it. And your third eye is kind of like if you're watching a foreign film, it's like the little subtitles that come at the bottom. It's like, this is how you should feel about what you're seeing right now. That's your third eye. So if you don't have a good open relationship with what you see with the world, how is it being perceived by you, right? Many people can see the exact same thing and get different impressions of what they just saw. Art is a perfect example of that. So what we're going to do for this is just very simply going to relax. So I'm going to get you guys to sit up nice and tall. I'm not going to switch my camera over today because you won't really be able to see me at this angle anyways. So nice and tall, have your central channel aligned, and I want you to really scrunch up your forehead to start. You can even use your hands a little bit, just really scrunch it all up, and then allow yourself to really relax it. And you will feel that right around your temples. I even feel it at my cheekbones, sometimes as low as my lower jaw. You can really pull down those muscles and really relax. Really relax through there. Now take your fingers and just place them underneath your eyes and just pull a little bit lower down here. Really add some expansion to around your third eye chakra. We're going to lift our gaze just a little bit higher with our eyes closed so that we feel that our third eye is pointed a little bit more diagonally up and forward. And now you're going to take your middle finger and your ring finger, and we're just going to do some tapping on your third eye. Now here you could add whatever mantra you are talking about. Again, nice and simple. I perceive the world and the world perceives me. Your bija mantra for here is Kasham. So you can repeat Kasham, Kasham, Kasham. And coming back to neutral. Again, asking yourself, am I totally relaxed? Relax yourself further and further. Now, before we get out of this state right now, I want you to think of an intention or what your super intention is that you're currently working on in your life. And I want you to ask yourself, if that intention started showing up in your life in small, obscure choices today, would you be able to perceive it and move towards it? It's a nice place for me. I like sitting in that mental state of feeling like, if it showed up for me in my world today, would I acknowledge it and say yes? These things are all very important when working with your third eye. Hello, Kaylee.
Oh,
Good
hi.
morning. So, just a few last thoughts. The third eye, a lot of the time, talks about a little bit more obscure thought processes of some of the metaphysical practices. For some people, it might be difficult to jump on board with intuition, or a lot of the times we say, do you trust coincidence? Do you believe in fate? Do you believe in signs? They say if you're walking past a clock and you always see the same time, like if you see 1111 or 222, or my angel number is 240. I see 240 everywhere in my life. And whenever I do, I always have to stop and take stock of what's happening. I actually have a funny story about that. So I was in Spain a few years ago, And we had just shown up in a town that we were not expecting to be at. And I was like, the people I was with were all like in such good flow state and everything. We're like walking around being like, life is magic. Because it was just so like everything was we're like hippie children wandering the streets of a city we've never seen before. Oh, hello, Kim. So nice to see you, Kim. Mwah, miss you, darling. Happy belated birthday. So we're walking this city, super happy, and we're like, we're going to get on a boat. We don't know anyone here, but we're going to get on a boat. And we were walking by the port, and there was a guy there, and we're like, we need to get on a boat. What do? We want to get on a boat. And he was like, oh, all the tours have left. There's no way. And we weren't really planning on being there much longer. We were only going to be in this city for a little bit longer. And we're like, listen, take down our phone number, like do whatever, like we need to somehow get on this boat and I need you on this with us. And this like total stranger was like, oh, okay, like didn't speak our language, like we were sure nothing was going to happen. And we were determined we were going to get on a boat. We saw the number 240 all day long. It was just like appearing everywhere. I'm like, we're going to get on this. It's going to happen. So the next morning I woke up and my friend appeared in her doorway in her like lavish sheet just wrapped around herself in last night's makeup. And she said, so I got a text. They're going to make a boat ride for us today. And the text was like, couldn't even speak English really. And he was like, we make boat ride now for you. Come. We're like, yes. Language doesn't matter, but symbols do, and you can make things happen. You just have to believe it's going to happen. So we ended up going on one of the most magical boat rides ever, let me tell you. It turned out to be really awesome. So small symbols, if you know what you are looking for, you just have to be able to make it happen too, right? If I like the idea that if we were like, yes, we're going to get on a boat, but what if we didn't walk by the pier? Right? We wanted to get on a boat, so we went to the place to make it happen. We didn't just walk around being like, oh, I want to get on a boat and didn't do anything about it. So what is your boat today, everyone? Find your boat. That is what it's about. Okay. Before we move on, let's talk a little bit about astrology. Last night, in the wee hours of the night, we entered Cancer season. Oh, Cancer, how I love you so. Cancer, Candice, how are you feeling about your Cancer moon? Is it ringing inside you right now?
Probably a little bit. Yeah, I wish. Love Cancer season.
Candice has lost her words as she talks about her emotional moon. For those of you who don't really know what Cancer means, Cancers are known to have a really hard exterior, but have the softest interior. And they have sweet, kind, emotional motives. We have a video coming out about Cancer season coming up shortly, so stay tuned for that one. Cancer is also known for being one of the most intuitive signs. They see signs before anyone, and then they don't say anything about it to anyone because of their hard exterior, and they just make choices on their own, and we figure it out later. So, I love Cancers. I'm married to a Cancer. Shout out to my hubby. Love you.
My daughter's a Cancer, and my mom. What?
We're just swimming in the Cancers around us. So for that, we chose as our guide today the moon. She is submerged in that gorgeous moon energy. Sometimes when the moon comes up, it can be it can be a warning sometimes as a card in a way of like, what aren't you trusting yourself for? What aren't you doing? Like maybe sit in some of these silences, maybe sit in like, is there any illusion in your life that we need to wipe away? I'm using that as our guide today to not as a warning, but as today's a day to wipe some of that stuff away. We are in Cancer season. Maybe you don't automatically trust your intuition. Maybe that's not who you are, or maybe you don't believe in a lot of these signs. Today we're going to implore you and empower you to listen for some of these signs, to listen to the whispers from the universe and see what comes forward for you. And even just for the day, believe it and see what happens to you. Yeah. Is there anything you would like to add to that, Candice, before we say goodbye?
Yeah. being open to new perspectives, I think, is the key thing here. Like being open. You can't receive a message if you're not open to it.
Yeah.
Right. You can't receive a message if you are stuck in the same story of your perspectives that you've had forever, right? Like if you are going to hold on to a mind frame that's no longer serving you, and keep wishing and wanting something new to come, or to get, wow, I wish the universe would speak to me that way. Well, if you're stuck in those old thoughts and you're not being open, and you're in a routine that's not allowing even a new experience to come, or like allowing anything new to come into your life, then you're not going to do that, right? It's going to be really hard to
Yeah.
get any messages, to even notice them, because you're stuck here and you got to expand out. You have to be a little bit expansive in just being your thoughts, being open to a new way of people living. You know what I mean? Like, check your perspectives on your reality, and how maybe you could be a little bit more open-minded, be a little bit more expansive. And I think you'll see that new things will come into your life. And when new things come into your life, then, that's when it gets a little exciting, and you can see what you're made out of, and you can see
Yeah.
what your beliefs really are,
Yeah.
right?
I love that. That's very
Yeah.
well said. Very beautiful, darling. All right, Soul Fam, we are going to say goodbye for today. Tomorrow we will be talking about our crown chakra. All right. Yeah, our crowns. Get your crowns ready, folks. Get your crowns. Maybe we'll wear our summer solstice
Oh, wait.
crowns.
Yeah, wear a crown.
All right. Much love.
Much love. Bye.